So I had another interview with that person's boss, and I got offered the role. And this is anecdotal, but the funny story about that is I remember starting the job on that first day, and my boss told me this later on. We became quite good friends, but he told me later on that on my first day, he turned up and saw me, and he sent an email to his boss, was the guy who hired me, and said, "Would you mind telling me who the person is sitting opposite me?" So he hadn't said anything to the guy who was actually my manager. He didn't interview me, didn't even know I was joining until he saw me there on that first day. So that was the move from back to middle. Yeah. And then I worked, and I would say actually that period in Lehman Brothers is probably the hardest I've ever worked in my career. I mean, I think Lehman had a certain culture, and that might have contributed to why it's not around anymore, to be honest. But it was, but at the same time, I had, a lot of fun. I worked all hours under the sun. Worked 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And this is in middle office. This wasn't like an M&A role. This was just, you just did the job until it was done, no matter what time it took you.
That's actually a really good point. That's mid office working sort of IB hours.
Basically, exactly that, without IB pay. But I learned a huge amount, and I met a guy he said about 6 months after, or about a year after I joined, we had a new department head, and it's probably one of the most pivotal moments in my career.